Boxing Ego here. If you like this video, make sure you hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon on the top of your screen to get notified when the latest new content drops. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Great news that we just all received as boxing fans, and that was coming from basically Kell Brook, and he posted on his social medias that Errol Spence is next. He says, where I'm from, we don't duck or dodge. We ain't running from nobody. That's the next fight. That's what the fans want. It is what it is. Let's go. So I made a brief video. Now, I was actually at Starbucks. I was out of town or away from home. I was at the Starbucks. I had all my laptop and whatnot. And I was trying to record the video. And then when I was playing it back, the audio was just, it was too loud. The baristas were like clanking, ding, ding, ding. There's kids and people and they're playing music. So I just decided to wait till I get home to record this video because it was, you couldn't really hear, you know what I mean? It was too much, too many, it wasn't like a nice quiet ambient background. It was too much going on. So I like that. I think it's a good fight. I mean, people all want to know my opinion, you know what I mean? Like I said, I tried to do the video earlier. Then when I came home, I crashed. I had a long night last night. But it's a good fight. It's a great fight. It's a fight that boxing needs. 2017 is lit. Now, let me talk to the detractors. Some people are leaving comments or emails or DMs or whatnot saying, yeah, man, are you going to apologize now? Kell Brook, he's taking it. First of all, I do believe the fight is going to happen if he's confident in posting that. But we still got to see it. I haven't heard no venue, no official announcement, no date. You know what I mean? It's boxing. Things happen. But I do think this is very likely because obviously he has some indication that this is going to happen. Otherwise, I don't see why he would put that. But again, somebody tell me the date. I don't know the date. I don't know the venue. I don't think anyone knows for a fact 100%, right? I heard May, maybe April. But why would I apologize? There's nothing to apologize. I've never said anything other than how I felt. And what I felt was based on factual information. I never said Kell Brook absolutely would not fight Errol Spence Jr. Go listen to the video. I'll give you whoever the first person to produce audio from my video where I said that Kell Brook will not fight Errol Spence Jr., right? That's just without a doubt he's not going to fight him. I'll give you guys $50 or a gift card or something via PayPal. Because I know what I said because I'm there when I said it. I never said that he would not fight him. But if you listen, some people are too emotional in this sport of boxing, right? I even mentioned it in some of the videos where I talked about this particular fight. They think if you like one fighter, you gotta hate the other person, right? Like you can't like Jackie Chan and Bruce Lee or Van Damme or Jet Li. You like Bruce Lee, you hate everybody else that does martial art. It doesn't, I don't know what kind of fantasy world you guys live in. It doesn't work like that. I told you I respect Kell Brook. I think he's a skilled fighter. I just call it how I see. Like Floyd said, I call a spade a spade. Now, Kell Brook, I told people he was going to beat Shawn Porter. I was correct, right? A lot of people didn't even know who he was at that time. And coming across the pond to America to fight. The video is still up on the channel, my prediction video, right? And that was a great win for him. After that, he got stabbed, came back, had a soft touch. I understood it. I didn't get on Kell Brook's case. But after that, he started fighting like Kevin Bezier and Frankie Gavin. So the world, not just me, but from what I've seen, a lot of boxing fans grew frustrated, like, because he is a skilled fighter. Why are you fighting this level? Jojo Dan, Frankie Gavin, Kevin Bezier. Like, tell me any of their best wins. None of them have beat Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, even a Danny Garcia, Robert Guerrero, right? Keith Thurman. Nobody in that bunch after Shawn Porter has beat anyone to note. Like Porter, that's a great win. Porter's my dude. You could say what you want. He has 2 losses. He gave Thurman a competitive fight. Some people thought he won that fight. He has had top level sparring before with the likes of Manny Pacquiao, Shane Mosley, and we've seen him at an elite level. Like Keith Thurman didn't knock him down, knock him out, and this is Mr. One Time. So that's a proven guy. Tell me the same accolades. When's the last time Frankie Gavin was called in by Manny Pacquiao to spar, to be a chief sparring partner for a Margarito fight or any of his big fights when Pacquiao was slaughtering dudes. You know what I'm saying? And it goes without saying, you won't be able to find those types of names, right? Because a lot of those guys are European level athletes. They haven't, you know what I mean, they haven't been battle tested like worldwide. So that's all it was with Kell Brook. Now, as far as the Errol Spence, will I apologize? Absolutely not. There's nothing to apologize because I still feel the same way. I told you guys in those videos, you guys can listen to them. If Kell Brook does not opt to fight his mandatory, all of a sudden, it would look extremely bad on him. And I still believe that. So if he is fighting Errol Spence, then he made the right decision. I'm telling you guys, in my opinion, what would happen, and it would not look good if you had no problem fighting mandatory Jojo Dan, mandatory Kevin Bezier. You know what I mean? Kevin Bezier lost twice to Jojo Dan, the guy you had already knocked out, right? So when the going gets tough, when you actually have a mandatory that's worth the damn, that the people want to see you fight, and then you say, you know what, I'm going to 154, I can't make this weight, then it would look extremely bad, and I still feel that way. So bravo to Kell Brook for taking on a challenge and a tough test. And he can, I told you guys, I've never maintained anything different. It's a good fight. We don't know fully what Errol Spence is capable of because he needs the name to support that. Chris Algieri, that was a good win for him. Leonard Bundu. But those guys themselves, they weren't the Pacquiaos of the division either. You know what I mean? But I do take it into consideration who you beat and how you beat them. You know what I mean? And some people, like in this video, I just gave you a comparison why it was, as a fight fan, journalist, why it was a problem when Kell Brook fought Sean Porter and then regressed and fought guys way lesser than Sean Porter, is because Kell Brook had more fights as a professional and he was an IBF champion. Say it with me. IBF champion, right? He was a champ. So yeah, of course you're gonna up the ante if you're a champion with more fights. Yes, we want to see that person fight. I'm realistic. Like Canelo, if he's 15 years old fighting in Mexico, I understand as he's learning on the job, he has almost the same amount of fights. He might even have more than Floyd at this point, or very close. They might have the same number. I gotta look. But they both have 40-something fights, right? But obviously, Floyd Mayweather being an Olympian who was robbed, and a decorated amateur and a guy that showed promise and then transitioned into the pro game. Of course, Floyd's 49 bodies, most of them or a lot of them are going to be a lot better competition than Canelo, because Canelo was 15 and he was learning on the job without all this amateur background and this and that. So you got to be realistic with the situation. And the reality of the Kell Brook situation is this: he was a champion. And he was fighting the Frankie Gavin and Jojo Dan. And some of them were probably pay-per-view, BZAs and stuff like that. And it doesn't make sense to me. Errol Spence, like I just said, he still hasn't had that name that's going to certify him, you know what I mean? As he hasn't had his quote-unquote smog check to make sure he's on the up and up and he passes, right? He's had certain tests and he had barometer tests like Algieri and Bundu, but he hasn't had that name that's just going to say, wow, you beat this guy, here, you promoted to the next level. So of course the standard he's held to at a younger age, he's younger than Kell Brook, is not going to be exactly the same when they're at different points of their career. You know what I'm saying? That's like what I hold Chad Dawson or Kermit Cintron to, the standards I hold them to, is not going to be the same as Mikey Garcia or somebody who's like undefeated and a champion now and this, you know what I'm saying? Like, you guys got to take it by a case basis. All I ever said is if Kell Brook opts not to fight Errol Spence, it would be a bad look. Especially, and here's the other thing, you got to look at the whole situation as it sits. Kell Brook brought this heat onto him, right? And you know what, in all honesty, if it weren't for people like me, maybe this decision would not have went this way, where we're getting this fight with Kell Brook and Errol Spence. Because if you look at it, look at the chronological order, and I'm not saying I'm the only one, but there was a lot of people that were writing articles, making videos, clamoring for this fight, right? And it just so happens that I have a pretty good fan base, and I'm developing my brand and my voice and things like that. So sometimes people listen. So the word gets out. I've talked to fighters like, yeah, I seen your last video and stuff like that. So people talk and stuff. So he might have even seen these videos, and I don't mind. I'm professional. I don't care if he watched the video. But all I said, I still feel this way. If he did not fight Errol Spence Jr. next, it would not be a good look, period. Right? And that's what it is. And like I said, if it weren't for people like me and others who are writing these articles and making videos, then this fight might not happen. And that's just the reality of it, because at the end of the day, this, per his own declaration, was not his first option. He wasn't looking the Errol Spence way. In fact, he was saying things like excuses, people would say, saying, oh, nobody's really knowing who he is. Okay, so listen, this is not me. Fight Hype has the interview with him. Fight Hype did an interview with Kell Brook, and he was like, realistically, nobody knows who the Errol Spence name, and that's what he said. He said nobody's knowing who he is, right? So despite your obligation as an IBF champion, you're saying nobody knows who this kid is. He could scrap, but he hasn't proven anything, and nobody really knows his name. Nobody knows who he is. But now you look at his social media post, and what is Kell Brook saying? Oh, if this is what the fans want, I'm giving them what they want. Yeah. So what changed? I thought nobody knew who he was, but now you're saying this is what the fans want. And then now some people are they're hitting me like, are you gonna apologize? No, why would I apologize? I didn't say nothing wrong. I didn't change what I said, and I'm not going to change what I said. Right? If anybody changed, it's the Kell Brook side. He's the one that said nobody knew who this kid was, and his name is not really ringing bells, but now he's saying this is what the fans want. You add that up. That doesn't even make sense. If nobody knows who this kid is, then literally 1 week later with no fights, it's not like Errol Spence fought somebody and like knocked out Pacquiao, and now he's like, okay, we're ready. You know what I mean? You just fought a big name. That's not what happened. You know what I'm saying? Errol Spence ain't even fought nobody since he last fought in a Bundu fight, and that was last year. So at the point the video was recorded where Kell Brook saying nobody's knowing his name, right? Nothing has changed. Neither one of them have been in the ring since. And then now all of a sudden Kell Brook, he's posting like, the fans want it, we don't duck nobody, this is what they'll get. So clearly there was some level of pressure, because why are you saying all of a sudden, oh, is this what the fans want? So he heard the chatter, he heard the roars, he heard the media, he heard what people were saying. So you guys, some of you are brain dead. Like, yeah, man, are you gonna apologize? You're gonna eat some humble pie? Like, are you serious? Like, I got what I wanted. What I think is the best thing for boxing. What is there to apologize for? I never said Kell Brook's not gonna fight him. Again, produce any video I said where I said he's not gonna fight him. I could tell you indications like, okay, he wants to fight him. He's not his highest priority, and that's a fact, because he said, I'd rather fight Pacquiao, or I'd rather fight the big names. I'd rather fight the guys like Amir Khan. I'm pushing for Khan. He kept pushing for Khan. That's what I said. So no, why would I apologize? But back to the fight itself. It's a great fight, 50-50 fight. I'm waiting for more information to pour in as far as the venue, and it's going to either be Kell Brook showing his skill set and why he's the man, or it's going to be the passing of the torch where the young hungry lion gets his shine and does what Kell Brook did versus Shawn Porter, travel across the pond and win impressively, or beat a name impressively, be the IBF champion. So it's going to be Kell Brook versus Shawn Porter 2.0, or Kell Brook's going to show you, man, I'm the man, and this is my throne. And to me, this is another thing that I realize with boxing fans. Some of you guys, like Nino Brown said, it's always business. It's never personal. I don't have anything personally against, like, yeah, I've never met Kell Brook. I've met Errol Spence. You know, we know who he is. So, but that doesn't change nothing. I don't have no problem. Like I said, I was bigging up Kell Brook when y'all didn't even know who Special K was. You thought he was a cereal and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I don't care who wins. I mean, if I want the right man to win, but more importantly, I want the fight, right? I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, some of you guys, I could tell you don't do this. This is like, maybe you're a fan and stuff like that. I'm at this point, I was once a fan, but now I cover boxing. So it's more than merely being a fan. I've seen people I know that I'm friends with get knocked out. in fights I was covering. You know what I'm saying? So it's, at the end of the day, this is like, it comes with the territory. You have to develop tough skin in this business. You know what I mean? Some people like, even if I want a fighter to win, like I said, I've seen people get stretched that I know personally and talk to them after, and it's just like, damn, like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't know what to say to them. It's, you know what I mean? It's not the celebration that they wanted after a win. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't care who wins. I just break down the fights based on who I see winning and what I see going on. So just to clear the air and give some more perspective on the Kell Brook Errol Spence, I had to make this particular video. Let me know what you guys think. It is a good fight. It is a 50-50 fight. Both guys can win. Obviously, Kell Brook has a hometown advantage. Errol Spence has an advantage in terms of he still has his O. Like Broner said, I still got my O. You know what I mean? He still has his O. And Kell Brook no longer has his O after jumping up versus Golovkin. Plus, he fought a bigger man who's a notorious puncher. And, you know what I mean, we don't know if that added some mileage that we'd never seen previously. Because so far, I would say clearly Kell Brook has had the tougher fights, like in the trenches fight. His first fight with Julio Diaz was, or actually that's Sean Porter, I'm sorry. His first fight with Carson Jones, I meant to say, was tough. Even in his fight, see, that's the other thing. I've studied Kell Brook's career, most of it. You know what I mean? His fight with Carson Jones, the first one, his nose all busted and bloody. Tough fight for him. And then he did much better in the rematch. His fight with Sinchenko was very tough. Some people don't know because he stopped Sinchenko. But there was a point in that fight, if you guys watch it back, I don't remember the round because it's been so long, but Sinchenko hurt Kell Brook in that fight. Right? Sean Porter is a dog, so he's a tough fight at this point with anybody. Like what he does and his style, being up in your chest, being in phenomenal shape. So Kell Brook got a cut over his eye in that fight and had to be disciplined with the jab, clinch. And, you know what I mean? Sean Porter's just rugged. You don't care if it looks pretty, if it looks ugly. You don't care what it's looking like. He's coming for you. And that's my dude. So that's another tough fight. And then obviously going up fighting Golovkin. That was a tough fight that he got his eye socket shattered. But there are no excuses. You're going back to your more natural division that you are undefeated at that division. So may the best man win. Let me know what you guys think. Errol Spence versus Kell Brook. Great fight. Likely in the UK. Likely maybe in May. Drop it in the comment section. Make sure you share the video, like the video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off. So if you enjoyed this video and want more content like this on the channel, you can show your appreciation by going to the PayPal donate button or the YouTube support button. And you can donate any amount that you feel is equivalent to the value of this video. Much more to come. Thank you guys for your support. Boxing Ego, the future of boxing.